Greetings to one and all. This is Divya Sidarekar from Exampil, a student democratic platform with a mission of creating doctors with the help of the toppers. So today we have with us Dr. Yashaank Kumar, a third-year MBBS student currently pursuing his degree from Soochow University, China. Along with it, he also inspires NEET aspirants via his Instagram handle. A very hearty congratulations, Dr. Yashaank, for your achievements. I'm sure that your journey must have been a tough one. We would like to know more about it. So without any further details, let us start with the interview. A very pleasant good evening, Yashaank. Yeah. So my first question to you is, what inspired you to get into the medical field?
So, uh, as you know, like we live in an Indian society, and if you are good at studies since the childhood itself, you have only two things in mind. That okay, if now I'm good at studies, so it's either you have to go towards engineering or you have to go towards the medical field. So it came from there itself. So as I was really good at it, good at my studies during my primary school, my high school. So I had one thing. Okay, now as I'm one of the toppers every time in my school, so I have to go towards the medical field. It's like the realization came later that yeah, it is meant for me. That realization came later in my life, but roots come from there itself, like from my childhood itself. But as I grew up, like then I came to know that this is the field which is meant for me. When I used to go to hospital, I used to get those goosebumps. You know, if you are a medical student, you can relate as well. That when we enter the hospital, we get that vibe which we don't get anywhere around in any restaurant, in any college, anywhere. But that vibe which we get in a hospital when we enter there, that is something different. So there you come to know that this is somewhere you are meant to be. So that's the reason why I chose medical field and why I entered into this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So, Dr. Yashaank, what qualities should a person have to get to be an ideal doctor?
So what I believe is like on what basis I would be answering this question is that this journey of medicine gives you 1,000 reasons to drop, because at times you are going to feel that this was not something which was meant to be. Like you never expected that you will have sleepless nights, you'll have to sacrifice your outing with your friends, you'll see your peer friends who are not into medicine enjoying. So there will be 1,000 situations coming across during your journey when you'll feel that I should drop out. Yeah, I'm not made for it. So in that situation, if someone is passionate enough, if he has that feeling of that, yeah, this is this is something which I have to do no matter what comes on my way, I will go for it. So that is something primary. Like everything, every other quality is secondary, but this is primary because the one who sustains, those who have like power to sustain, they'll excel in this field. And those who will be like feeling low at times, they'll miss up being good at academics as well, and they won't be enjoying their life as well because they'll be missing that balance between both. So I think that's really necessary. And apart from this, being empathetic is really necessary because there will be times when you have to put others in. Like second thing is being empathetic because throughout your journey there will be times when you have to place others uh, as a priority. You'll have to sacrifice your personal life for others. So being empathetic is really necessary. So see, and lastly, hardworking, because this journey, like this field, requires hard work. You have to work really hard to pass your exams. You have to work really hard because this is a profession. This is your professional degree. So working on your profession, working hard on it is really necessary because the more you work hard, the more you work on your skills, the better doctor you will be. So hard work, empathetic, and passionate will be a trio combo for being a good doctor, an ideal doctor, according to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, do you also appear for NEET while getting into MBBS?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did appear for my NEET back in 2019.
Okay. And what was your experience or the strategy behind preparing NEET?
So, like, this is really a, like what I would say, a question I would love to answer. Like, because uh, you guys can learn from the success stories from a lot YouTubers or someone, but I would really, because the NEET journey for me was quite a failure because I couldn't get into a college in my state. So I think I would really love to tell you what made me fail in this journey, because that is where you can learn from my mistakes. I'll start it from the beginning itself, that how I started. Like, I joined a renowned institute um, in my city itself, like in Chandigarh, and I spent my 2 years there. So in 11th, it's really hard because 11th is quite difficult because it takes a lot. It is more of learning because concepts are quite uh, less as compared to 12th. Like, the concepts are quite difficult as compared to 12th. So in 12th, the concepts are quite easy. You think that this exam is meant for you because physics becomes easy. And in 11th, physics is the main, what I can say, the enemy of NEET aspirant. So my 11th was quite good. Like, when I started my journey, I was really good. I started scoring really good ranks in my institutes examinations, which they happens everywhere across in your institutes. I was doing really good, but slowly, when I was like, I started taking it for granted that okay, because I told you earlier that I used to be good at studies, so I started taking it for granted that I can do it, I can do it. Yeah, it's easy, I'll do it. So slowly and slowly, what happened? My ranks in my test started like falling. Concepts started building up. They started being difficult. I started losing track, and then was a stage. I was like, my 11th got over. Then came 12th, and 12th was easy. Be it bio, be it physics, and maybe chemistry as well, because chemistry is also more tougher in 11th. So everything became quite easy, and I could suffice my test on the basis of my knowledge only. Like, I started scoring reasonable score. I never believed that this score doesn't equate with the NEET score. You need to do revisions uh, again and again, because NEET is not just having concepts. It requires revision. And revision is my weakest point. So if you are not revising, you'll fail for sure. Take in written from me, because that was the main reason for my failure. I scored 480 that time. It was my first attempt, and I had no guidance that okay, drop is also a good option. But I was like, no, drop is not meant, because I was never ready for any failure. Like, NEET was the first time when I faced a failure, so I wasn't ready for another failure. I was like, I should rather run away from this. There was a time when I decided I should just run away from this MBBS thing. This is not something which I should go into, because yeah, because I was like, okay, I should not do this. Maybe it's not good. That's why I was not able to do, because failure not like, it's really hard to accept failure. So the revision was something which I lacked, and in 12th I lacked a lot, because concepts, I used to get good concepts, but I don't used to revise it. I used to just study. Okay, I used to pass my test, and I was like, okay, I know it. Why to revise? So I just moved, and everything piled up. I never revised 11 during that time. And then I was like, I started missing institute tests as well. And I was like, okay, I'll do it on my own. That is really, really bad, because getting uh, know your worth is really important. Where you stand before your exams is really, really important. I took mock test on my own. I never tried to do it at a national level or at some level. So I couldn't analyze. I used to score in my mocks somewhat 4, 530, 540, and I was like, okay, these mocks are really difficult, and they are like higher level from the exam, so maybe I'll score okay 560, 570, I'll get a. So I pre-assume things on my own. That was another mistake I committed. I never tested my position. I never tested where I stand among others. So this is the second most important thing after revision, that you should know where you stand so that you can work on it, because you need that rush in you, because if you are not competing, then you not know what mistakes you are committing. So I think these are few things which every NEET aspirant should keep in mind. And revision is always the key. When after my exam, I used to see the videos of some toppers coming out. They used to be like, we revised NCRT for 25 times, like double-digit revision. And I was like, I hardly managed to finish it 2 times. So there I came to know where I lack. So I never wanted to drop. So I just ended up getting a college abroad. So this is my story in a nutshell.
Okay, so as you mentioned just now that you are studying right now in such a university, so did you always had plans to study abroad?
No, I told you that it was never a plan. It was never a priority. And what I have seen drastically happen, students even before appearing NEET text me that we are considering MBBS abroad. Like we want to go abroad. We don't think we'll be acing this NEET exam, so we'll go abroad. And I never ever thought that I'll go abroad for MBBS. It was like I took admission in the last few remaining seats of my college. So you can just imagine that when would I have decided? Like I gave my exam in May. The results were in, I guess, June, July. I can't recall. So I wasted my June, July, August, and uh, I s- I started thinking that okay, this could be done. So yeah, let's go for it. And then on the last 5, 6 seats of my college, I took admission and I went in October. So it was never a priority, and I think these days students are really committing this mistake. They are always like, okay, we are not studying, we are not doing well, so MBBS abroad is always an option because you get there in low scores as well. But that should not never be an attitude. Never be an attitude.
Also, why did you choose China over all the other countries?
Okay, so there is a simple reason behind this. First, the major reason was I met few doctors before making this decision of MBBS abroad, and they were the ones who suggested me either choose China or Nepal. And I was like, now if I'm just shifting abroad, then I should see a country which is a bit developed. So China was the decision. And other than that, I think China always stays at the first priority because there is no corruption there in the medical colleges. Like apart from other colleges, there are certain reasons behind that. And one more major reason is the practicals over there are really, really, really good because they have, in addition to the human practicals, they have animal practicals as well. Because practicals on animals are banned in India now, a few years back. So, but in China, we still have the practicals on animals. So, yeah, the practical exposure there is really good. So that was the major reason why I chose China.
That's great. So, as you know, the pandemic has affected everyone's life. So, how much did pandemic affected your life, your college life especially?
So, pandemic has affected everyone's life, like every medical student life, be it Indian medical student or be it foreign medical student. Like for foreign medical student, it has been really, really tough because now you know the Ukraine crisis. Due to that, the students who were studying in Ukraine, they are really affected. Even they are so really they are being affected most due to the war crisis now. Earlier it was COVID, now war, because they don't know how their studies will be proceeded now, how will they complete it, because now the universities have also like being bombarded. So then comes Russia is also involved in that. So the students studying in Russia are also involved. Now we have a visa restrictions, so we are unable to go. Philippine students are there; they are unable to go. So all are affected. And earlier, the Indian medical graduates also were affected because the hospitals were all converted into COVID wards. So they didn't do practicals since last 2 years, and those who are in their clinical years, they missed a lot. So be it foreign medical graduate, be it Indian medical graduate, everyone has survived the most because we have like lost the most crucial years of our career. And the practicals means a lot in the life of a medical student. So yeah, it has impacted everyone. Like it's generalized now. I don't know how it's gonna fix, but yeah.
Yeah. So now that you have completed 3 years in your medical field, so how different is a college life in a foreign college as compared to an Indian one?
There are certain differences, and obviously every college has its and buts. So what I like more about foreign colleges, and it's not just medical college abroad, it's journalized because in India the pressure you have for your studies is way too much as compared to any foreign university. Like, medical university is one of them. Be it any country, any course, the pressure you get from your professors or your university is not the same as you get in your India. Then the examination system is quite different. There in India, it's only the last year when they implemented MCQs and stuff in the medical school. Because I already told you that we have practicals on animals as well. But this is really subjective. Uh, it depends. It differs country to country.
So, what role is peer-to-peer guidance and mentorship from your seniors with playing in your journey?
So I think this is really necessary because during this journey of medicine, the peers are your real teacher. What I believe, the seniors are your real teacher. That's for sure. Take it in written because the thing you learn, be it academic, be it extra curriculum, what you learn from your friends and your seniors is something which is going to help you throughout your journey. So even now, when I have entered into this journey, even through my Instagram, I try to add value to my juniors. I used to learn from my seniors, and now I'm conveying that to my juniors. I like organize group sessions for the first year student. As now I'm in my third year, so I believe that okay, I can tell my juniors what they should do to have a good, to have a smooth journey throughout their med school. So that thing, no professor is going to teach them. No parent is going to teach them.
So, Dr. Yashaank, so what are your future plans after you complete your 5 years of studies?
So right now I'm preparing for my USMLE step one. I haven't really finalized that which field I would go into. Currently, I'm into psychiatry, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm just saying it uh, because I have to explore more clinical areas. Maybe when I explore them more, my interest might change. But for now, it's psychiatry which I'm aiming at, and I'm currently preparing for my step one, as I said. So yeah, this is something I'm planning for my future.
Okay, as you mentioned earlier, USMLE. So, could you please tell our viewers what USMLE exactly is?
Okay, this is a licensing examination for USA, United States. It's similar to the NEET PG we have in India. You clear your NEET PG and you get a residency in India. You clear your USMLE and you get residency in USA. So this is similar. This is a similarity between both, but the process is completely different. Completely, like NEET PG is just rank based, but USMLE is not rank based. You have to clear your exams, but that is just exam. But make you enter the residency is you as a person, your personality, your CV, that all things matter.
Okay. So, I would like to ask you, what did you like the most about the Exampil app?
Okay. Okay. So as I earlier said this, that during your journey in medicine, it's the peer and the senior. This is the most important thing because they are your real teachers. And now, as example, is providing you the education, the guidance by the seniors who themselves has passed this exam. This means they have the fresh strategies to help you to ace this exam. They know like what it takes because in today's time, we have so many distractions to overcome, which our professors never had in their journey. So it's we who can relate and tell our fellow juniors that, okay, this is the way how you can tackle this. But my professor can never tell me that. So that is really important in this journey. If you are in the guidance of a senior, I always remain in the guidance of my seniors and I keep guiding my juniors. So I think this should be a habit which every medical student should have. Learn from your seniors and convey it to your juniors. And that is something I think Example is also doing. There are seniors who are guiding their juniors. So if like if you take it seriously, you'll surely excel in this journey. So these are my words, mark it.
Yeah, sure. So last but not the least, what message would you like to convey our future aspirants?
So I think this is something which I covered in my answer as well when I was telling my journey in a nutshell. I think that that things you should really take away from this session. Revision is the key. When your professors say that, that is real. Like I also used to bypass that thing. Okay, we'll revise or something, but that should not be the attitude. You might not understand a concept, but you revise the concepts more and more and more. You retain other things which are strong more. Leave the things which you don't understand, but at least ace the things which you could understand and take that forward because this is an objective exam where it's not just the knowledge that will be tested, it would be your strategies which play an important role as well. There are students who are not really good during their preparation, but they still end up scoring more than the ones who were really hardworking because the only thing was the lack of strategy. You keep studying, you keep studying, you keep studying, but you lack the right strategies, you'll fail. But you study less, you have right strategies, you know what is important, you know how much to know, you know this is something which is every time asked from this topic. This is someone who just would be like, for example, me itself, who I was, my teacher is saying this is not important, and I was like, no, if she's saying okay, but I think I should do this because I have to score really good in this, so I should do that. And when I got indulged in that habit of doing unnecessary things, I lagged. I failed because your mentors are saying that this is not important. Ace it. That is one of the strategy which will lead to success. So this is something which I would really love to tell all the viewers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yashaank. It was really great interacting you. And we hope our students might learn a lot of things from this session and while interacting you and hearing all your stories and your entire journey while preparing for NEET. And I surely implement that all these tips and guidelines in their preparation they implement. It was very enlightening interview. Thank you for making time for the students today, and we wish you very best for your future.